Why are you building wealth, Cory?
For that reason, to create impact, make impact on my family, and certainly like the big priority, right? And then really I find joy just impacting other people, really like sharing my experiences, challenges I've had, being able to kind of chart that course. And I just really appreciate anytime somebody comes to me for advice, because a lot of times are like, me? But no, it's really cool. Like that's really probably my favorite thing I get to do is when people call and ask me for advice, ask questions. It's truly my favorite thing to do is to help out.
Who's called Cory before and had a real long conversation? Oh, I see some hands being raised.
Boom, boom, boom. Yeah.
Awesome. Cory, so we're about to do intros. This is a great lead in here, man. We'll come right back to this. Who are you, man? Tell me a little bit about your journey. We were talking about this the other day. It's an axiom in sales that you underestimate what you can do in 1 year. You overestimate what you can do in 1 year, and you underestimate what you can do in 5 years. And I was just looking at what we've done in the 5 years. I moved back to Knoxville in 2019.
Yeah.
You got started in real estate 2019.
2019 got like right in there, like late
so where
2019.
where are you 5 years later from being at First Watch?
Yep.
Seeing somebody reading a copy of The Millionaire Real Estate Agent, the KW Red Book, and going, hey, I'm reading that book right now, studying for your test. Where are you right now, 5 years later?
Yeah, so 5 years later, it's been really cool. I get to help run a real estate sales team here in the area that's really focused purely on, I'd say, the agent or on the investor landlord space. We've been able to grow our family portfolio to where we're just this close to passing that we call the income flip, right? Where your passive income offsets your monthly expenses. So I'm very proud of that I've gotten that close. We should pass that here this year.
And that's on one income?
That's right. That's on one income because we retired the missus
Yep.
last year. And so it's just been really cool to be able to see just that carry from where I started here about 5 years ago now. To where I'm at now is pretty cool. Kind of blows me away.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
Yes.
Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate that.
I got to meet Cory in the office. I was running a team, and we were bonding over prospecting, actually.
Yeah.
So it's glad that we're talking about this today. We were talking about prospecting and scripts and strategies and weird affirmations that you say. Anybody say affirmations? Yeah.
Yes.
Like,
love it.
yeah, but it's wild. I was like, these things work even when you think they're dumb and awkward. Like they still work. Because calling on the phone is less awkward than chanting affirmations out loud. Is what I found. Like after that, I'm already embarrassed enough for the day. It's much easier. So where we're going as a community for Grid. Grid is a national community. If you haven't plugged in, check it out. There's an Income Flip podcast at the end. We're going to share a slide. This is all free education. Right, we want to build a gigantic platform. The goal is to be something similar to Bigger Pockets. You know, Rob Chavez that founded it is on the Bigger Pockets podcast. You can check him out a couple times. If you Google him, we're going to be talking about the Zone method. Go Google Rob Chavez and Zone. You can see him teaching it on stage at Family Reunion, other national conferences. Awesome guy. Right now, we are in the process of expanding to 1,000 communities. We've been building. Right? Ready to scale. We've got 30 now. If you know anyone in another area that I should know, let me know. I've been asked to step into the role of Director of Expansion for Grid across the country. Got a couple interviews. Maybe we'll go global in Fiji and Australia, and it's kind of interesting. So we are 40,000 strong. It's a collaborative community. Like tap into the resources. Like everyone that I can think of has a similar ethos, right? So the goal is to have 2,000 leaders eventually, get 10,000 people financially free to do that income flip that we talked about, create 100,000 millionaires. Cory, you're a net worth millionaire now, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Is that wild to say out loud?
It is 100%. It's super awkward to say.
Yeah. Cory started in a kitchen working as a cook and worked his way up to be an owner operator of a restaurant. Long Doggers. We're going to talk about Long Doggers later down in the Space Coast of Florida. And the goal is to get to 1 million members. So add people, borrow the platform. All right, who am I?
Who are you?
I don't know. You want to intro me?
No.
Okay. My name is Justin Myers. I am a realtor. Over the years, I have sat in every possible role. I was probably the world's worst salesperson. I think I was the only mortgage broker to not make any money in the Wolf of Wall Street, ridiculous days. So over the years, been a mortgage broker, commercial property manager, worked as an inside sales associate, worked for teams all over the country, been an agent, and now I run this team with Cory. So weirdly turns out all that failure worked out to be a really great crash course in understanding all the nooks and crannies of the industry from a grunt's perspective, being the guy making everyone else money. So I was really, really good at connecting people, but I never could figure out how to make money for myself. But it's worked out, really well because I've gotten to live a dream. So the reason we run this group, right, is we wanted to pour back into the community. We just intuitively knew it's something that we wanted to do. We're looking to build relationships with investors. We like working with investors. Our business model runs off investors. That's our active income, right? So we can create enough active income so we can buy our own investments and do the income flip ourselves and model that behavior. So you can connect with us at Grid Knoxville. If it's your first time here, a couple of things today. If you have questions, there's a post on Facebook and there's a post on Instagram. We're going to hold some questions till the end. Go to that post and drop your question on there so we don't miss it. I know we move kind of fast. There's a lot. Drop it in there. Borrow the platform. People see your comments. We're talking about how to market, how to network, how to prospect. So let's jump in and get some engagement there. Easiest way to connect with us is two ways. Grid Knoxville at Instagram and on the Grid Knoxville private Facebook group. If you go to gridknoxville.com, you can sign up for our newsletter. That's where this recording is going to go out in a week. That's where, if you saw those off-market deals that were cycling on the screen on the intro, that's where those are going out. Just go there right on the landing page, put your email address in. All we're going to send you is that newsletter with some reminders about this event, recap, and some off-market deals.
That's right. Who are they?
Yeah. Who are you? Hayden. Who are you, Hayden? Jump up here real fast.
Hey guys, my name is Hayden Fike. I'm from Chattanooga, as you heard earlier. I call myself a professional networker. Clearly not very professional, can't say that word. But I travel the world to go and meet people. So that's what I do for a living. I own real estate, so I have self-storage, 2 going on 3 single-family homes. And yeah, that's what I do.
Hayden runs these guys. Yeah. Hayden runs a investor networking group that we're going to talk about a little later. Southeast's best real estate investor meetup down in Chattanooga. And we were chatting before about how he does his intros for his group. And I said, hey, why don't we let Hayden do our guest intro? So Hayden's going to run the intros today.
All right, awesome. So I have been to other meetups and everyone introduces themselves one at a time around a room. When you have that many people like we do here, it just does not work. You're glazed over by 30 people and you guys kind of look like that right now. So we're going to get interactive here. And so what I'm going to do is I'll run through a list of people that I have kind of in my head. And if you do the thing, go ahead and stand up and I'll kind of run up to you and just give a quick introduction. Don't have to give your life story and everything, just who you are, what you do, and how you can help people. So if you're a wholesaler, go ahead and stand up. No wholesalers? Okay, there we go. We got 2 wholesalers.
I don't want to talk though. Hello, my name is Jeremiah. I am formerly a wholesaler. I no longer wholesale, but at the time I did place a lot of emphasis on marketing. So if you're looking to get into it, I can for sure help you out with literally any type of marketing. That's it, yeah.
All right. Wholesaler?
I'm Robert Smith, formerly also a wholesaler. I do a little bit of everything. That's how I cut my teeth, was wholesaling, and that got me into where I'm at today.
All right, and Justin whispered to me if you guys look at the camera too, it's over here. So if you are a realtor, if you could stand up. And I apologize in advance, we don't have enough time to introduce everybody, so I'm gonna pick my favorites, not Sean. We'll go over here.
Hey, I'm Jalen Smith. I'm a realtor. I'm licensed in Georgia. I'm looking to get my license here in Tennessee as well. So if you guys are looking to get started in Georgia, let me know.
My name is Lydia Capps. I'm a realtor as well with Wallace Real Estate, specialize in condo and luxury, but I do anything in between.
My name is Cooper Denton. I'm a realtor. I sell here in East Tennessee. My niche is luxury and relocation.
I'm gonna go to this side of the room over here.
Amber Tramontana, formerly a nurse practitioner. This way. Got out of that, and my husband and I started investing 4 years ago. We're on our 10th property now. So I just became a realtor because after 9, it's time to just have a license.
All right. Yeah.
My name is Toby Welty. I just moved to Knoxville in August, and I work for D.R. Horton. I'm a realtor, so any single-family homes that you guys have or anybody that wants to buy a home, I'm your guy.
Awesome. Over here.
I'm Ethan Green. I'm a realtor based out of Morristown, Tennessee, with Elite Realty Group. Actually got my license here back in August. Wanted to get into real estate just because my daughter kind of changed everything, so trying to get into the real estate game.
All right, awesome. Do one more. Back here.
My name is Carolyn Huskins. I'm a realtor with Wallace. I actually work Knoxville, Nashville, and the East Coast of North Carolina areas, and I'm an interior and exterior designer. So investors usually buy with me. I design it. I can do a little bit of flipping, and then they sell.
All right, awesome. Thank you. All right, if anybody has a realtor close to them that I didn't introduce, go talk to them. All right, who here is a lender, does funding of some sort? Don't stand up. Chris first.
Hey, I'm Chris Davis, a private lender here locally, own a company called Approach Lending, and I lend money. So if you need it, call me.
And he's one of the sponsors too. Okay.
That man right there funded my first flip. I'm Morgan Hardy. I'm a mortgage broker here at Foundation Mortgage. I also do small balance commercial lending. So primary house, if it's a house and a person, if it's a roof and a person lives under it, I can generally do it.
All right, awesome. We're just pass it.
Hi, I'm Jillian Arledge. This is my husband, Stan. We own Our Edge Commercial Funding, and we provide financing solutions for all of you. We do fix and flips. We do condo hotels. We do long-term rentals, anything that's investment basis, and we do all asset classes of commercial. So if you need financing, give us a buzz.
Awesome. Thank you. Anybody else, lender, back here? Also, this means private lenders too. So if you got a lot of money, just stand up.
Yeah. I work with Morgan here at Foundation Mortgage. So pretty much same products he was looking at there, bank statement loans, profit loss. We can help out with that.
All right, awesome. Thank you. All right, who here syndicates?
I appreciate that. Hey, everybody. My name is Sean Thompson. I help people who are looking for and put their money in investment and get double-digit returns without any hassle.
If you want to know how to syndicate, YouTube, go to Grid Investor, right? The Grid Knoxville playlist, and you can see our own Sean Thompson and friend of the show, Tillman Dunbar, teaching exactly how to syndicate. Really, really great session. All of our sessions are recorded on there if you want to go back and learn.
Awesome. Do we have any contractors? Gonna stand up? Contractors? Oh gosh, so many. You guys come to my meetup too.
My name is Joey Devlin. I run a demolition company. Our preferred clientele to work with are investors. Investors primarily fixing and flipping homes. And I'm also partnered with a general contractor, so anything from new construction to reconstruction, from the ground up to the ceiling, out to the street, remodels, fix and flips, you name it. We're here for you.
All right, awesome. Thank you, Joey. Go, you guys over here?
My name is Derek Mosgrove. I'm my partner, Brandon. We run a smaller remodeling company out of Maryville. We've been doing it for about 5 years, but we're new to the area. Just moved down to Tennessee about a year ago. So just looking to kind of get our feet wet down here and meet some folks and grow the business.
Awesome. You guys. Over here.
My name is Samani. I do have a remodeling company. My focus is on roofing, shingle roofing. I do have crew for flooring too. So if you need anybody, I give a card.
All right. Do you work mainly with investors or mainly residential? Investors. All right.
Used some money on deals before. He's done a great job.
Outstanding.
Hi, everyone. My name is Sal Sanchez. I represent my own painting company. We do drywall, painting, exterior, interior, commercial, residential. And I'm trying to, make connections with real estate, new home builders, general contractors. So, yeah, if you need some drywall, painting, trim also, just give me a call. Thank you.
Coming back over here. Just pop my knee. There you go.
Run, man.
I know, I'm trying.
Hey, everybody. I'm Jeremy. I own a
handyman company. It's called Square Peg Home Solutions. Not a licensed contractor yet. I also partner with the guy that is. Intergalactic Repair Ninja. So if I can't fix it, it's not broken. Also do a lot of remodeling for investors and out-of-state people. We've done quite a bit, so that's me. Thanks.
All right, who here is just investor, like in multifamily, single family? I'm not going to introduce everybody, but if you do want to be introduced, go ahead and stand up.
Hi, I'm Laura Kastner, and I'm a new investor. I have one long-term rental, and I'm looking to develop a new build, multi-unit, short-term rental property. So I'm interested in talking to contractors, short-term rental people, and people in the connection with land to talk about that project.
Awesome. Cool. I want to learn about it. Are you with her? No? All right, here we go.
Hi, Cassidy Peterson. I'm a new investor. I have a couple of short-term rentals. I actually have one at Beach Mountain, North Carolina, the ski resort. So if you need a vacation, connect with me. And then I also have one here in Knoxville, and I'm currently working on a flip in Jefferson City and looking to get some long-term tenants in there as well. But I'm always looking for those off-market properties.
Fantastic.
Hi, I'm Christian Ferreira. I'm a new investor. I've got a duplex, and I'm interested in long-term rentals. Prefer multifamily opportunities, but also interested in single-family opportunities. So I'm looking to get connected with deals and expand my doors. So that's it. Thank you.
Jason Harris. I started out with the house hacking approach about 10 years ago and kind of steadily doing it over the years. Got more aggressive this last year. If you have any questions about kind of how to get started and how to work on properties that need significant work to them, that's kind of my niche. Buy, fix, and hold.
Hello, I'm Shay. I have a midterm rental in Knoxville. Been about a year coming up, and I help with others that are trying to convert to a midterm from a short term or a long term into a midterm. And then I'm looking to expand beyond my rental.
Hi, my name is Cecilia, and I'm a healthcare provider by trade, but I own my own company. It's called Home Solutions, etc. We do sheetrock, painting, indoor, outdoor, cleaning, demolition, flips, all that kind of work.
Thank you. All right. So is there anybody that I missed that I didn't call your category that wants to introduce themselves to the room? Tell them a little bit about what they do over here. All right. I've stayed in one of your rentals before.
Did you? Hi, my name's Kimberly Parks. I'm a real estate agent and a sales executive for Vacasa Vacation Home Management. I am one of the area's experts in vacation home properties. I work with investors to first-time investors to advanced investors who do multi-units as well. I work with investors who do syndicates as well. So if you have any questions about the short-term rental industry, I'm your girl.
Awesome.
Thanks.
Thank you. Anybody else that want to introduce themselves to the room? Okay. I usually don't let people, but you can add yours. Yes.
No, I forgot to mention, I've talked to a few people. My day job is a photographer, and we've talked about bringing lifestyle photography to investment properties and specifically short-term rentals. So if you want to talk about that, hit me up.
All right, thank you. All right, thanks guys, that's the introduction. And if you didn't get to introduce yourself, go and meet like 5 people when the meeting's done, and then you've done that too.
Big hand for Hayden, thank you. All right. Cool. Investing carries an element of risk. This is just advice. We are not accountants, we're not attorneys, surveyors, appraisers, home inspectors, right? What we are experts at is sharing our journey and give you expert advice on the market, right? And expert connectors. So trust but verify, and don't sue us, As you can tell, we are recording. So by being in this room, we're all agreeing to be recorded and marketed. And you're going to see your beautiful face if you stood up at that YouTube channel, right? Grid Investor.
That's right.
Is our YouTube channel. So let's set the stage, Cory.
That's right. So, investor, full-time real estate agent, sales. You're essentially in a sales and a marketing business. It's really what a lot of this boils down to, right? If you're either an agent or just an aspiring investor, at the end of the day, a lot of this is going to just boil down to sales and marketing and how you're going to be attracting. We're here to talk about just how to go find the deal. A lot of that is done through sales and marketing.
Who's in the sales and marketing business in here? Yeah. If you don't have deals, you cannot do anything else. If you don't have clients, you can't be a real estate agent, can't be a contractor, you can't do anything else, right? So if we don't think we're in the sales and marketing business, we may have a hobby right now that we're here to professionalize, right? Because we're limiting ourselves on our growth and our ability to provide for our families and those that care about us.
That's right. So no matter what you're doing, at the end of the day, a lot of this is just going to boil back down purely to sales marketing. We're going to talk about prospecting here in a little bit. And all that is really just going to come through those efforts.
And that's every category, right? Whether I want to wholesale a home, do all those other things, it's going to come down to those. So it is important that we're purposeful, right? That I can define who I am. That's why every time you come here, I ask, who are you looking to meet? Because if you can't answer that question, right, you're not going to get what you're looking for out of networking on a professional level. And you're always looking to meet somebody. If you're brand new, I'm looking to make friends. Anybody want to play on the playground by themselves? Right? No, you want someone to come up there and say, hey, who are you? Be my friend, right? So I have someone to network with. It's easier to talk to a couple people. Everyone is looking for someone to meet. Everyone's looking for connection. I've talked about this over and over again. We're facing an epidemic of loneliness. My entire living is based off of being friends with people. Would you agree, Cory?
Totally, 100%.
Yes, it's definitely not based off being the coolest person. It is, but I can certainly be the friendliest, right? And make sure I provide value when I come up. So we can waste a lot of valuable time, valuable money, especially when we get into starting to do outbound marketing or prospecting. Anybody wasted some money on that? Yeah, right? Thousands, right, Jeremiah? Because Jeremiah's done advertising, postcard mailings, radio. Yes. So if you don't have a great plan or model, we're not going to succeed. So we're here to give you that model.
Yeah. The goal really is just to be able to create predictable opportunities and outcomes. And we really call this the zone approach. It's really the ultimate sales and marketing experience, really just looking to have you dial in on your niche and really owning that. Because it's very easy, especially early on, jumping into this, to get distracted. I want to go wholesale. I want to fix and flip. Well, now I hear multifamily is awesome. What can I do about multifamily, right? It's very easy to get distracted and jump into all these different avenues. And we're here to help you really dial this in to picking one and just going really deep on it.
Right. And the goal is to dominate the vertical. When we talk about this stuff, when you think about soda, outside of Pepsi and Coke, name a brand. Cheerwine, Dr. Pepper, Sprite, another cola. RC. When's the last time anyone bought some RC cola? Last week, yeah. One person in the whole room, right? There's a limited amount of mind share, and we're in the South. If you get outside the South, nobody knows about RC Cola and moon pies. I promise, right? Down in Florida, that's not flying off the shelf.
Not at all.
So we're going to walk you through this zone system. If we're doing this correctly, this is going to seem like common sense. It takes years and years to distill this stuff down into really simple frameworks so you can actually remember it and utilize it. So let's start off with the zone. Cory, what's the Z for?
Yeah, Z is for zeroing in on your target market. This can be a geographic area. This can be what we also call like a psychographic area, kind of like who is this person? Is this like an elderly person downsizing, things like that, right? Relocating target.
Explain what psychographic is.
Yeah, that's a it's a mindset piece, I guess, really, that you're looking at too. Like, who is this person? Kind of what are they doing? Where do they go? Where do they hang out? What activities are they doing? Just mind share. Yeah.
Yeah. So when we talk about psychographic as opposed to demographic, it's mind share because we're operating in an augmented reality, right? We're operating in a digital landscape as well. Who's been on social media in the last hour? Right? Yeah. These things are existing simultaneously. So it's how am I present in that space as well, like that psychographic landscape. So let's talk about this. What's my step one on zeroing in on my target market, Cory?
Yeah, researching, selecting it is the start, diving into it, just really picking that out. And there's a number of different ways I suppose you could go about that.
Who wants some, we're going to blow through this quickly. Who wants some tools, some specific tools on how to research and market, on how to network, on how to prospect? Anybody want a copy of these? If you're not, go to Grid Knoxville, put your email address in there. We're going to send out an email tomorrow. We went through all the links that we were thinking about and the tools that we use. We're going to have links in there directly to them so you can jump in and use those tools. All right, so when you're researching and selecting, what are some resources that you're using?
I'm using the MLS, although certainly like Zillow can do for this if you're really wanting to target like certain areas or price points in there. So I'm using the MLS, I'm using tax records. Sources, I mean, for general public might be like KGIS. I'll use the CRX tax suite that's available through the MLS. That really allows me to dive into I'm looking at neighborhood turnover ratio, like how often properties sell in this neighborhood. Because if it's a neighborhood that's maybe not moving a lot and people can move into there and then they're there for 20 years or more, I might not necessarily want to be diving into that. I might look for somebody that's turning over a little bit more.
Using the MLS, so we're looking at total number of sales. I'm calculating a turnover rate, so I'm looking at because we have a slightly different avatar than what we're looking for,
That's right.
What other tools are you using besides the MLS to do research on this? To identify some information.
Yeah.
So we talked about
you can look at
census. We
census
talked about
data.
Yeah.
We looked at just relocation data that's out there. There's a lot of moving companies that put out information as far as like where people may be relocating from or to. All your major movers all have that data available on their websites actually.
Census has new construction starts. We're looking at that information. Who's got a clearly defined target market? And by clearly defined, what I mean, and I'll you, is something that you can articulate in less than 10 seconds, right? So my niche right now is I am looking for infill development lots in the city of Knoxville and South or East Knoxville, right? Super clear. Do I do everything? Of course, I love money. But that is super clear, right? I'm looking for development lots in the South or East Knoxville. Anybody else looking for infill development lots? Great. I got the mind share to myself, right? Who's got a really clear target market they go after? Yes, I love it. Shay, what's your target market?
Midterm rentals with corporate professionals and those who travel to Knoxville on a 3 to 6 month basis and servicing them.
And that's what you have right now, right? Is a midterm rental aimed at corporate professionals in Blount County or Maryville?
In Knoxville.
In Knoxville, okay. Up in Halls, fantastic, cool. So that's a really clearly defined target. Cory, you got some other?
I do, yeah, actually. The National Association of Realtors puts out really great research and statistics. Like you can literally just go to nar.realtor, and that'll take you through. They've got a lot of information there. You got Neighborhood Scout is another great one as well when you're really looking to try to really target specific areas that could be based on school zones.
I've got one. City-data.com.
Oh, sure.
City-data.com. What's great there is they've got forums. So they got forums that can ask in all those questions that realtors cannot answer because of the Fair Housing Act. I cannot answer anything about good neighborhoods, right? That's steering. If I'm working with people that are answering those questions, they need to read the Fair Housing Act. I really can't get into that information. I can point you to a direction. I cannot make judgment calls about good or bad neighborhoods. We've caused gigantic problems in our society because of that are very clearly defined and we're still dealing with today. So we have these legacy wealth gaps that are directly related to real estate and real estate policies that were enforced by, the Department of Housing and Urban Development. Yeah, up until the 70s. Yep. So
step 2.
Yes, step 2, develop your value. And I know that sounds crazy. That's just, the facts are a little nuts on that one. Develop your value proposition.
Yeah. So an example of your value proposition, I buy houses. I buy houses in any condition. We buy houses cash. It's a very easy, straightforward value proposition. It's used by thousands and thousands of people with incredible levels of success. It works.
Who buys houses in here? Anybody buy multifamily? Anybody not awake? A little hot, a little warm? Stretch, I know. I'm I'm dying up here. That's it. That is the entire value proposition if you're playing the investor game. Anybody need some clarity? Anybody in a niche where they don't have clarity on what their value proposition is? Happy to help you develop it. We can do it really fast. Awesome. Anybody have a value proposition they could articulate? Anybody a little bit shy? Don't know
Cooper
what to do
helps
with their
relocate.
hands?
Lydia, luxury, condos, right? These are specific niches to dive into. You have a value proposition to offer, right? You have a select catered experience for luxury clientele. If you're working with relocation people, I have a full relocation package that makes it smooth and easy for you to move from the moon to Knoxville, right?
Anybody on my team have a value proposition they can articulate? Okay, I guess I'm on my team, so I can articulate a value proposition. I work with investors. I specialize in working with investors, both in-state and out-of-state. I offer education to those investors, love working with them, right? And we're specifically looking to work with multi-transactional investors. That's what we built our team to serve. There's a very clear value proposition for my active income play. Great.
Sure, and step 3, just building your brand.
Oh, we got an expert on building your brand, right? Why do you need a brand?
Mind share.
Yeah.
Yeah, the impact when we just did that exercise of like name a cola outside of like Pepsi and Coke.
Who has a brand in here? Anybody got a brand? Anybody have a very well-developed brand, but they're raising their hand like this because I see them posting every day? That invited a bunch of people. I see you, Lydia Caps. Lydia's got a brand. Every one of you has a brand. Like you have a reputation. We are living in an online world, whether articulated or not. I've got a brand, right? Cory's got a brand. Really nice guy. Funny. What else is Cory's brand? Lots of people know Cory. What's that? Giver. Yeah, I think that's very true, right? Cory's a giver, he's a workaholic, good dad.
You can't not mention the headset, too.
Dude, that's right. I know I don't have it up here with me.
Yeah, Cory's got mugshot Mondays, and Cory has always got that headset making calls, right? But Cory is active. Does everyone know that Cory invests in real estate? Yes, that is a brand. I just want to articulate that. If you're in this game and you don't want people to know that you're an investor, why? Travis, where are you at? Travis is on our team. Travis was at another meetup, and who'd you see, Travis? Who'd you see? Your neighbor, Travis. Oh, yeah, I ran into my neighbor. Right? Has he been to your house before? Good guy, you know him, you talk to him? I've given him food. Yes, Travis has fed this guy. He has not been here. Because why would Travis bring up being an investor? This is one of those things we talked about. Travis joined the organization. And it's like, oh, people need to know that's what we do. They're looking for that information. Do you want your neighbor working with some random people? You want your neighbor selling their house to somebody else if you are looking to buy homes?
My brand's a little different. I don't even need the mic. You do. I think my voice is deep enough.
We're recording.
Oh, okay.
Content.
Okay, my bad.
That's all good.
My name's Chris Cook. I'm not in real estate investing just yet, but I own a company called Be Great. So I do like public speaking. Speak to corporations, speak to colleges. So I'm trying to find another niche and find another network of people that are doing investing. My niche is, as you were saying, I was kind of writing it down. I want to jump into like elderly communities, like families that are probably trying to get rid of their, I guess you could say like their grandparents' house or whatever. And I kind of want to buy them as is and then fix them up that way. So I'm more wanting to get into fix and flips, connected with a few people in here. But like I said, I'm kind of in a different world, but this is amazing to be here. So I just wanted to introduce myself.
Thanks, dude.
We're so glad you're here. We're so glad you're here. If you're a public speaker, I will tell, the whole world changed when we did two things, right? Because I was on a team with Cory, and we started this grid group because Cory was growing. Cory was in his own lane because Cory's a maverick. I knew Cory was going to leave the team because Cory didn't like working leads. He wanted to generate his own leads. And if you got a guy on a team and he's generating his own leads, why would he stay? So I said, we're going to build an entire investment division around this guy. And we launched Grid. I said, I'll help you. I'll brand it to you, right? That was back in 2021. Yeah. And so love that you shared that. What I've seen, though, is by standing up and talking about wealth, just the idea of wealth and education is one of those, it's something that's opened a ton of doors for us. We'll talk about this after the meeting in terms of like speaking on other topics and speaking to a whole diverse set of communities. It's awesome. What's O for, Cory? Yes.
Can I give an example of what a brand can do? All right, so I share everywhere that I invest in real estate, and I got under contract on a house today with 150K of upside. So, and that's only because I share with people that I invest in real estate. It's my mom's neighbor's house. So if you don't share with people that you do real estate, if you don't talk about it at Thanksgiving, you don't talk about that stuff, you miss out on those opportunities. You miss out on 150 grand. So just wanted to say that's like the branding. And I've gotten tons of storage clients, capital, all kinds of stuff just from posting silly videos on Instagram.
Cool. Dinner's on Hayden.
Hayden is going to be privately, Hayden's here to announce he's going to be privately funding some deals here this spring. Get his information. All right. So you just talked about that. Hayden, would you say you own the mind share of your market?
No.
Okay. Awesome.
Working on it.
Yeah. I would say I own the mind share of the market because my whole world changed when I changed the way I talked about myself. When I said, hey, I'm a professional salesperson, and not like, hey, I'm not a salesperson because I'm not, I'm not one of those people. I'm not pushy. I'm not sleazy. I'm not a taker. Like I can't define myself by what I'm not. I am a professional salesperson. I sell stuff to strangers for a living. I've done it for most of my life. That is my thing. We work with investors. So the goal is to own the mind share. Cory and I are very competitive about that. It's real simple. How do we offer more value than anybody else? How can we be the best prepared and nicest people in Knoxville?
That's right.
Yeah, that's our secret plan, guys. Invite your friends. So let's talk about how do we practically do that, though?
Yeah, so I mean, we like to say owning the mind share really starts with prospecting. It's just going to start with like that outbound reach out. From there, we build that through networking, and then we multiply that through marketing. We have to start at a baseline, which is prospecting based.
Mm-hmm. So I build through prospecting, reaching out to people with direct efforts when I first get started, right? I've got time. I'm putting in direct efforts on prospecting. Investing time deliberately and outbound generating conversations. I see Peter nodding his head. Peter started a home inspection company. He moved here. He's been running this exact play. He's a new guy here. He's built an entire sphere. Didn't know people here. Then I'm going to build that through networking, right? So I'm inviting people here in the room. I'm building it through networking. I was talking to Brandon, stand up real fast. Brandon, oh, sorry. So Brandon's a new contractor. He came in here. Brandon Wilkerson, stand up right behind you. You guys should shake hands, right? Yeah. So Brandon was the first guy in here. Brandon came in here at 5. Brandon is a brand new investor. Brandon's got a W-2 job, really familiar. We were talking about some areas that are adapting, live over in East Knoxville, right? And is here to learn that play. So we're gonna do some active prospecting. And the advice I gave him was, hey, let's talk about meeting every single person in the room and finding out what they need. That's the secret to, and I start building my network that way. And then I multiply that through marketing, but I can't market if I don't have an audience first.
That's right. Or the income. Because really at the end of the day, like it's not one of those things, like it's very easy to sort of lose your shirt and going and overspending on like the marketing if we don't have like the actual foundational pieces done in advance.
Who are my prospectors in the room? Who are my networkers in the room? Yeah? And who are my marketers? Who likes marketing? I love it. I love it.
Not me.
It's not. What's that?
Said not me. I'm the prospector. I play life on hard, dude.
you do some marketing, Mr. Mugshot Monday.
I do, but I do enjoy just getting on the phone, getting after.
Anybody see Cory in their feet a lot for a guy who doesn't market? Yeah. Find a partner, right?
Yeah,
Synthesize,
100%.
right? I'm not on the phones anymore. Cory's on the phones.
I'm on the phones for
yeah.
sure.
All right. So let's talk about prospecting. What is prospecting?
Yeah. It's the outbound activity that you're trading your time for your leads. This is making direct offers. Great sources for that. Craigslist is still a viable place, believe it or not, in 2024. Facebook are going to be local sources for looking for deals.
Yep, and it's making offers on listed property. Going out and writing offers. Who's written an offer this week? Awesome. Who's bought a viable deal off the MLS? Yeah. There are great deals on the MLS. There are people that don't know how to value real estate or take photos or write descriptions, right? Great deals on the MLS. We find them every single week. I have a buddy, Kevin Kohler. Sean knows Kevin. They're working on a deal together. All Kevin does is find commercial deals on the MLS. He's down in Fort Lauderdale. There are 100,000 other agents, and yet he still manages to find deals on the MLS because he's just intentional about underwriting those deals and prospecting, and just that's what he's focused on.
That's right.
The deal we're working on right now, he found because he just, if the listing, you might have, the deal we're working on right now, Kevin found a multifamily deal and it wasn't written up right, and he thought the price was way too high for the property, and he called the guy about it. It was supposed to, should have been two properties together, but it was only listed as one. The one property looked like ridiculous price, but the two together was a really good price, and that's how he found the deal we were working on right now.
Yeah. 50% of agents sold one home or less last year. 70% of agents sold 5 homes or less. There are a lot of people out there that may not be experts at this listing property on the MLS. There are deals there.
100%.
Yes. And what else? Let's talk about this last one, Cory. Who likes getting down and dirty? Who likes driving for dollars? Oh, I see some big smiles from my driving. I wish you could all see them. That's the biggest smile I've seen so far. Allison back there likes driving for dollars. Allison, if you don't know Allison, wave your hand, Allison. In the back, Allison is a stone cold killer. Comes from wholesale. She is so good on the phones. Right now, she is the best prospector we have when we do Take Territory Tuesdays, because she doesn't sound like everyone else, right? It just comes from
100%.
contribution. So door to door, driving for dollars.
That's right.
Calling for sale by owners. Anybody work with for sale by owners? Yep. Just getting in touch, finding out, staying for value,
right.
And cold calls. So here's a couple of sources you can use for cold calling. Anybody like cold calling? Just shopping for deals? Awesome. So what do you use? What's some places? We have our own sources. We pay for professional leads. How else can you get?
Yeah, there's
info?
certainly some paid sources out there. But again, I like to start things off just real like bootstrap. If I don't have any cash, I'm not trying to spend any cash, right? So there are some really good resources out there. One of the favorite ones is truepeoplesearch.com. It's an easily Googleable website to find. It's spooky accurate when it comes for researching properties. You can go on there and either look for a general person, look up Cory King in Knoxville. You could punch in an address. If you see that home that looks like crap, that's really run down and wondering, man, I wonder how I could get in touch with that person. Punch the address into there. Punch your own address or a home maybe you lived at in the past, and it will truepeoplesearch.com.
Yep. The other one, who are my realtors in here? Raise your hand again.
Love it. Do you know about the Forewarn app?
You have a Forewarn app. It is provided by the MLS. That thing is spooky. You can do a background search on people you can either use a cell phone number, or so if someone's reaching out to you, it's how we use this, or I can use a name and a zip code. I can go that way too, or a name and an address and search that way. Mm-hmm. Really good way to find out who we're dealing with, get some background on it.
Very easy, very free resource you can use. Anybody can use that. Try it out. Highly recommend.
Who saw our giveaway? I saw Ricky Angel. I saw Lydia. Who else saw the giveaway? Anybody see the giveaway that we were doing? Oh,
Tori, Lydia.
Ooh, should we talk about this? All right. Anybody want to participate in the giveaway? What are we giving away, Cory?
We're giving away I would say call it your deal finder in a box.
Okay.
So we're giving away a marketing meeting with Megan Galbraith. Really, we're talking about building on your brand, right? We're giving away a copy of Exactly What to Say, which is probably one of the best sales books out there. It's literally exactly what to say. And then we're going ahead, pulling you a curated list of 100 prospects in your desired area. So it will help you through the systems we use. If you're looking for, say, I want to pull this area, Cory, I want to call people that own these properties or live in this specific area. Great, I'm going to pull you a custom list of 100 contacts in that exact area.
And you can come join us if you don't like prospecting, you want to learn how to prospect, you can come join us on Take Territory Tuesdays. We all get in a room together. We run through this. We'll give you the scripts. You can call with us. We'll teach you exactly how to do this. So we've got a winner because we ran a contest ahead of time. If you want to participate, really simple. While you're sitting here, pull out your phone, make a post on Facebook or on Instagram. On Instagram, just tag Grid Knoxville And later, we're going to interview Megan Galbraith about marketing. So you're going to see exactly how good she is and what value it is to sit down with her for an hour for a free brand consultation. We got some exciting news there. And we're going to pick another winner. So if you want to jump in and learn with us, please, we want to see you win. We sat down and said, how can we make this where no one has any excuse not to get your first deal? We're going to give you every single piece, and we're going to show you exactly how to do it.
What did we have that day? Yeah, what is for lunch right there?
Oh,
No, Dunkin' Donuts. It was breakfast that morning. Yeah.
Breakfast,
We
man.
hook you up breakfast and lunch on Take Territory Tuesdays.
Yes.
It's a catered experience.
Anything you want on the menu under $5.
Under $5. That's right.
All right. Ooh, can I talk about this, Cory?
This is your favorite.
My favorite, right? Networking, right? Here's what networking ultimately comes down to. Zig Ziglar talks about this, right? The way to get what you want in the world is by helping other people get what they want in the world. It is better to give than to receive. So we talk about a lot of things. Anybody played sports here? Right? Anybody like Kobe? Anybody's feed full of motivational Kobe? Is that just me? All the time? I saw someone make an argument why Kobe Bryant was the greatest of all time, and I thought it was interesting. For me, it was Jordan, right? But he said, if you look at him physically, look at LeBron, he's an average sized guard who did more with his talent than anybody else. He took his talent farther. If you haven't seen this guy, certainly go watch him, go look at him. Pretty fascinating human, right? When it comes to networking, when we talk about doing something, prospecting, whatever it is, I've got to fall in love with the process. How do I do these things and become not attached to the outcome? I've got to somehow fall in love with the process, whatever I'm doing. Otherwise, my worth becomes defined by the latest deal, whatever's going on, right? Maybe I had a fight with my wife. If I'm not in this thing, I'm not really committed to this longer term thing. My day is constantly defined by what's happening that day. And I say that because with networking, when I focus on giving and identifying what other people want, I can win in every single room. It's never a waste of time, right? Because I'm in the room. I will make it a good room if I'm in the room. I will meet everybody. I've gone into rooms where I have no idea what to do, and I was like, let's just go around and introduce themselves. I got asked one time to go to Charleston, and I was in there, and I found out that I was teaching how to invest in real estate. If you look at my portfolio, I am not Cory. It is ridiculous that I'm going to go to another city and teach how to invest in real estate. That's like a Grant Cardone topic, right? It's a very broad topic. What I am is I'm an expert at creating conversations around real estate. So I just taught everyone how to do what we do here, right? How do I do my intro? And what I found is in a room of 12 people, there was capital, there was deal flow, there was mentorship, all in one room. They're all agents in the same market center, but they weren't having these conversations. And I promise you, I come in this room all the time. There's agents in the back that work here. When I take the time to go get into conversations with people that I see, I always uncover more and more opportunity. Because I just got to dig a little deeper, right? So what it is I'm letting people know what business I'm in and how I can help, and I'm making it very simple and easy for them. So when I say, hey, I'm an agent, I work with investors, and I buy and sell, it's not as easy when I say, hey, I work with luxury people. Hey, I love South Knoxville. I'm making it very easy for them to work with me, right? So I can attend investor events. We're going to have a list of local investor events. I was at one last night with Charles Gorman in the Sono Investor Group. I can tell everyone in my world that I'm looking to invest in X. I can share that journey. It's really simple. You want a formula for this? Really easy way? Go on whatever your social media platform and say, who do you know that I should know I want to do X? People love to help. And when you get specific, does anybody have a connection for Chris? Stand up real fast. Does anybody know someone? Chris, stand up. Does anybody know someone that Chris should know? Yeah, Hayden does. Kimberly does. Jose? Because you asked for a very specific ask. And that's cool. Oh, this guy has a specific dream, and I can just make an introduction to him, and I help somebody? That's so easy versus just I don't know, I don't want to have to work that much, and I want to be free home with my kids. I don't know how to help that guy. I do know how to connect you with something very specific if you ask me. And it feels great to make that connection and be invested, right? So the simplest way you can play this game This is the game we're all playing. Is my goal is for us to talk to each and every one of you, find out what you're looking to accomplish, and then just connect you with other people I know in my network. That's it. That's the entire game. That is how we build influence. That's it. Social capital is one of the most valuable tools that we have, right? So what we're looking to do is build a dream team. Anybody needs some additions to their dream team? Anybody looking for contractors, insurance agents, vendors? Everybody got the whole dream team filled? They're just here because they like looking at me?
Everybody's doing.
Really here for Cory. We're going to do a networking event with everyone you need in your dream team, off-site, so it won't be so hot, in June.
Yeah.
Yes. We got Hayden here. Hayden's someone, we can tell his story. He's come up here and interview. Networks at a very high level. But I'm passionate about networking because I think it's one of the easiest things. I thought it was something that I did that wasn't valuable or monetizable. And it turns out it's one of the most valuable tools in the entire game. And somehow I accidentally looked into having like a national network, right? And connecting people on how big is that deal we're doing? How many units are you buying in Destin? 120 units. $20 million deal. $20 million deal. Connected two of my friends to make $20 million. Not a bad day. Took about 7 minutes. You know, you don't have to do a lot of those, right, to start generating some income. And when you start generating income, then it's a much easier conversation about how do we split up all of this income that we're generating, right? So if you don't want to prospect and you're not comfortable marketing, get interested in other people. Every single person in here, just say, hey, do you have 15 minutes? I'd love to hear about what you're looking to accomplish. Because even if you don't go get free, I promise it will change your life spending time intensely listening to other people's dreams and ambitions and encouraging them. You get to skip right to the top of the pyramid and have impact in a meaningful way and build community without any money, right where you are. The farther down the scale you are, actually, the more valuable it is. And I've done this, I promise, like, I've gone and networked on a national level when I had a negative bank account, taking out a cash advance to do this. Like, it actually doesn't matter. When you're genuinely interested in other people, the most valuable thing you could do to someone who's got influence is sincerely ask them how you can help them. There's no cheating that. And I've seen it be very effective in my life. So thanks for, what do you think, Cory?
Totally. Ditto. No, but it really is an impactful thing when you can just reach out and say, who do you want to know? Who can I connect you with? And genuinely like mean it. People feel that, like energy is real, right? And when you're able to do that, I mean, really at a high level like you do, it's pretty cool then the opportunities that end up coming around or the rooms that you find yourself in when you're doing those activities.
Mm-hmm. Everything we do is based off friendships.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, and even on a national level. And then marketing.
That's right. This is really just using your cold, hard cash to go out and deliver your messages out there. Postcards, door hangers, websites. Carrot.com is a great one you can utilize too. That's a really easy one that a lot of people use for their We Buy Cash type of websites. They got a really plug and play formula that works really, really well. There's hundreds, if not thousands of Carrot websites out there. Google AdWords, direct mail, social media, paid and organic. Organic would be free, but paid, right? You're going to pay to boost a post, boost an ad that's out there. But you have to have a message that's going to be tailored to your specific audience that you're trying to help if you're really wanting to maximize your impact. Otherwise, you're just really throwing your cash at the wall and kind of seeing what sticks.
And I'm going to give you one simple rule for every piece of marketing. If you're looking at your marketing, it's what's your call to action? What do you want your audience to do when they receive this? If you're producing a flyer, a postcard, anything there, and there's not something that's specific that asks them to engage with you, you are wasting your money. That's not marketing, that is branding. Branding is okay if you want to do branding. That is just the rule of 7. You need to see me 7 times, right, for me to show up. Marketing is based upon a call to action. What's N, Cory?
Nurture, right? Nurturing your database, really taking the time to consistently be in front of them. This is a time over task over time piece. This is incubating, nurturing your database, creating content that's going to create that conversation that you're going to end up converting to your leads. In fact, we're going to dive into that. My favorite thing, the 4 C's. This is really how we engage with our audience. So the 4Cs really dives into creating content that starts a conversation, that leads to a connection, and ultimately closings.
Content. I buy houses. Really simple. Could all put that out there. If you are an investor, that is your message. If you're overcomplicating it, look at OfferPad, look at Open Door. They all have a value proposition, these institutional investors, that you can digest in less than 30 seconds. On the main page without scrolling down, it's right there on the landing page. To create a conversation, so I need some way, right, where you can interact with me. Could be social, could be text, whatever. Have a two-way conversation because I'm looking to actually create a connection, an emotional connection of why. I need to get to the why of what you're looking to accomplish, right? And we talk about this. Anybody go to How to Identify Motivated Sellers last year?
I was there.
So we do. So we talk about all sellers are either motivated by emotion or circumstance. Go watch it. We really break down the psychology because it's a completely different approach for those. And that's going to eventually lead to closings organically, right? If I get connection and I get clear what they're looking to do, I provide solutions. That's what we talk about in that one. If you're an investor, you are a problem solver.
Yeah. The connection is going to be a big one there, right? Because even if we just look at the message of I buy houses cash, right? We all see those different ads. Lord knows homeowners see those ads all the time. Ultimately, they reach out, and they reach out in multiple people, right? I've seen the same deal shopped by like 3-4 different wholesalers, right? So they're already having that conversation point at that point. The biggest thing there is the connection that you're able to really foster with somebody. I believe in really leading with empathy, right? The more I can empathize with where somebody's at in any given like circumstance, that allows me to connect to at a deeper level really quickly, right? That's what separates you, in my opinion, in this business or in this game, is really your ability to deploy empathy, really mean it, come from contribution, really look to help somebody, because it's that deep connection and that trust. When if we're talking about I buy houses cash, oftentimes we're talking to a distressed seller, somebody who's in a real pain point they're trying to get away from. They need help. They're not in a position to be left hanging, and you have to be able to empathize with that and understand that you're there to help them through that, and you and only you are the best qualified person to help them through that scenario. And that connection is what ultimately is going to lead to a successful closing. That's going to create a win-win for everybody. So I wanted to expand on that because I think that's the biggest point, is that conversation that leads to your connection with somebody, and your ability to connect with others on a real deep level is what really accelerates that path.
And if you haven't read Never Split the Difference by Chris Voss, international hostage negotiator, right? He talks about tactical empathy. If you haven't read that book, it's the single best book on negotiation. Great training. He also has specific training. If you Google this for real estate agents, it's like $200 for this 8-part course. Highly recommend it if you want to improve as a negotiator.
Yeah.
E.
Yeah, it's empowering and impacting your community, right? We bring you this message that we can educate your community, attending and hosting other events, engaging with other local businesses at a high level. That's the end E part of this, is right, empowering others to go out and take action for themselves, that we get to see everybody win.
So that is what we're running. We are running Zone. We've got a very clear target market. We own the mind share for everybody on this Wednesday night that's in this room, right? You're all here with us. We nurture. We provide a lot of value, right? We've got you in our network. We're providing free content, and we're empowering you. We're giving people action. Who's taken action since they got in this room? Bought property, raise your hands high. Yes, right? That's it. That's the whole point of this. It's already a success by running that play. It's proven. We've built a $180 million real estate business around this. We've got in Virginia, multiple businesses, all based off running this play for the last 17 years. And just doing it predictably again and again. Success is simple. It's not easy. So what did we learn today real fast? Who's got an aha or takeaway? Let's get two. Jose.
I got to zone in on my target audience.
I love it. I love it. Tell me more. Stand up. Stand up. Jose is a great friend of mine. Jose is a landscaper that is segueing into growing a construction business, right? You're partnering with somebody, stepping into a new role. So what's your target audience?
Well, that's the thing. I don't know if we have it's pretty widespread. So I got to go talk to Nathan and maybe hone it in.
And get more clear on
Exactly.
how do I narrow that down?
Yep.
Yeah, I love it. The great thing about a target audience is I can communicate to everybody, but I only have to communicate to one person at a time. So I can talk to investors right now, and then I can talk to luxury people, right? I can talk to South Knoxville and East Knoxville and North Knoxville, but I shouldn't necessarily try to do that all at the same time. I can do that with individual messages. I love it. Okay. Miss Galbraith, are you ready for your close-up? All right. This is our host, Megan Galbraith.
To Megan a warm
Yes.
I'll get out of my seat.
Hop up here. What's that?
I can get out of my seat.
Okay. You know, hop up.
How's it going?
We'll give her this.
Thank you.
We'll give her this. You can sit right there next to Jaden. Corey's going to go heckle us from the audience. Absolutely. I love it.
Sounds good.
All right. So Megan Galbraith and her husband, Nick, in the back. Say hi, Nick. Run Foundation Mortgage. We are in their beautiful office in their beautiful home.
Yes, welcome home.
Things have changed since June. Megan is a marketing expert, a networking expert. We're going to talk about marketing specifically.
Yes.
Yes. Should we make an announcement, or should we dive into who you are first? What do you
I
want
think
to
we
do?
should make the announcement.
You want to make it?
Let's do it.
Okay. So go ahead. I'll let you seize it.
Yeah,
Tear them with the
so
broom.
I am really excited to officially join the Grid community and help with their marketing, specifically their social media marketing. So you're going to be seeing them a lot more on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, basically everywhere. So that is our job at the brand agency specifically, is to get our clients out in front of their ideal client and make sure that you stay consistent and you're always in front of them every single day. So you're going to be seeing a lot of good content that they have created in the past 9 months or since April. So a lot of good nuggets that we need to put out there. So we're really excited and to help the community grow, especially the Facebook page. So if you guys aren't on it, make sure you're on it and invite your friends to it, because we're excited to really take it to the next level this year. Yay.
I love it. So a couple of things that are going on there, and I'm going to explain what we're doing, because there's a reason why we're doing this. Always try to be really intentional. So if we're talking about networking at a high level, I'm very intentional about overlapping my zones of influence, right? So I get people in here where I have authority and I have credibility and I have relationships, and I stack them. When you stack them, when everyone knows who you are, when you set the stage that way, things really amplify. I was never really good at doing this when I was trying to build a business. When I started running a young professionals agency, it was like, well, how do I generate all these opportunity for these young professionals? And like everything just unlocked because suddenly I was talking to people. I was like, oh, I need to find the best in the country so that I can open the door for people like Jeremiah or Lydia. Like I'm such a big fan of Lydia Capps. If you don't know her, you should know her. She's one of my favorites, her and Cooper, just because I love seeing another generation come in here and take action, right? That are so much, Corey's nodding his head, so much more successful than we were at that age. I met Hayden doing this as well. Same thing. He's going to come up here. So what we're doing is we love working with Megan. I think she's one of the best. We're going to talk and show you what we're doing on the page. We're going to show you how we're building. We're going to unpack some of the metrics, and we're going to explain that on that Grid Knoxville page. So if you want to learn how to model some of this behavior, you can do that, and you can plug in. Megan's got some great content she's constantly putting out and organizes really great events, breaking this down at an understandable, digestible level on how to do this yourself, how to be consistent in doing this yourself. And if you don't, you can always hire her if you don't want to do it yourself like we have. So Megan, how did you get into, give me a brief run here of what you've done with Foundation and then spinning this off, just set the stage.
Yeah, absolutely. So 2 years ago, my husband brought me into the mortgage company to run the marketing department. And one of the things that here at Foundation, we just really didn't focus on or really do was social media marketing. And so when I came on board, I was like, oh, come on, but there's one thing we have to do. We have to get on social media, blast it. So when I came on board, I basically got us on all the platforms, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, X now. And we basically just took off and started putting out video right off the bat. you know, 24/7 basically. The loan officers were going crazy with me because I was that video girl that you see on TikToks. They're like, the social media girl's coming, and they're all like, ugh.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Did you go with professional content right out of the gate, or was that you?
Just a good old iPhone.
Okay.
I did buy mics. So, you know, I always tell clients, if you're going to invest in equipment, which you don't really need much because our iPhones are so great these days, but definitely invest in a mic. You can go on Amazon, get clip-on mics, but sound quality is crucial. And then, you know, you don't have to get all this fancy lighting behind us. I mean, it's great. This looks awesome, obviously. But natural light is great. Just stand in front of a window or go outside. You know, like in here, you want to be by the windows, not back here, because fluorescent light is not great. But that's all you really need, and just start creating content on your phone. So we really just started putting videos out every single day, too. And we posted, I'm not gonna lie, probably like twice a day. Just because when you're starting out and you're starting from scratch, I will say you do have to be pretty consistent and post quite a bit to really pick up the algorithm and really get people excited and just catch their attention. It's going out. So we did that, and you know, I tell clients all the time, and it doesn't happen overnight, which I'm sure some of you in this room know that, right? But consistency is key when it comes to social media marketing. And you really don't want to go and then drop. That's going to really mess up everything, and it's going to mess up the algorithm. So it does take dedication. It does take work. But when it comes to the content, people overthink it at the end of the day. And, you know, I came into it doing mortgages, which don't really know much about. So it was definitely a learning curve for me, but working with the loan officers and just structuring their videos and kind of trimming the fat when it came to mortgage information, because I think what really leveraged us too was me coming in not really knowing mortgages. So I was like kind of a client, you know, so when they would talk to me, I'm like, if I don't understand it, they're probably not going to understand it. You guys do your thing every single day. So sometimes we overthink our content. They're like, sometimes people are like, oh, it just seems so basic. Is that really good video? I'm like, yes. Because even I question myself with my videos when I make videos.
What was more important when you first started? Was it the high quality content or consistency?
Consistency.
Got it. So
yeah. Honestly, the quality of it is not even such a big thing. I actually just showed this to a client the other day. I've spent hundreds and thousands of dollars on videographers and, you know, got my hair and makeup done, the whole shebang. And those videos just did not do good as me holding the phone up and just doing a selfie video. And I was like, what am I doing? Why am I spending so much money on this? And it really does. Like the videos that are just organic and natural and relatable, those are the ones that do good. So you don't need to be dolled up. You don't need the whole shebang in production. Just get your phone out and just be you, because you are your brand. And that's ultimately why people choose you, is because of who you are as a person.
So you started off just doing phone videos. Where are you now? And like, what's the growth? Give us a metric that we can tie that to.
I would say around 9 to 12 months is when it took off. All of a sudden, people knew us. Realtors knew us, loan officers knew us, and people just started coming to us because the thing about a brand too is the brand is about building community. People really kind of think of branding even wrong. They overthink it even sometimes. Like they're like, oh, it's all about the logo and the colors and things like that. It's not, you know, really at the end of the day, like you guys talked earlier about Coca-Cola, like these huge brands, you know why they grew? Because people wanted to be a part of it. The jingles, they showed these families like hanging out together, drinking Cokes. It's the emotion behind the brand, right? So that's kind of what I did at Foundation is I didn't focus on the logo and the branding necessarily. I focused on our people and showing our people and their personalities on video. And that is what ultimately really attracted people to Foundation, was because of the people and the culture and the personalities and authenticity and the relatable content that we were putting out.
Can we talk some hard numbers?
Sure.
So what is that, and Nick might tag you in there, what did that look like in terms of whatever metrics you measure that by, loans closed or agents attracted or growth? Like, hey, Nick, you're going to have to come up here because I can't hear you. No?
Absolutely.
Hustle up. Nick's on his way up here. He'll give us a quick overview.
Yes, because numbers are definitely huge. And like I said, 9 to 12 months is when all of a sudden it just started picking up like wildfire. Engagement on social, phone calls, reach out, DMs.
So we went into one of the most difficult markets ever in the mortgage business. We just went through like the Great Depression of mortgages because rates spiked up off of rates being so low. And so we switched gears and we went with really full-on social media marketing, and we dominated the market because we didn't have great competitors in that space. We knew we could really dominate there. So we grew over the last 2 years over 300%. We went from number 26-ish in this market to number 3, which is where we currently are. And there's a lot of momentum behind it too. It really was behind the branding of social media, which Megan put out. And then of course, I came on the business side and, kind of closed a lot of the team coming on and, made sure that we had the operations to handle that amount of volume. But it was pretty incredible. We're one of the only mortgage companies in the entire country that actually grew during this period because volume overall was down somewhere around 75% from the high of 2021. So it's powerful stuff, really powerful.
So for those numbers, right, we're talking about the market dropped 75%, they grew 300%. Yeah. Right? That's why Megan is on stage. And that's why when we were looking for a new home, thank you very much. We're intentional about partnering. Nick doesn't want the attention. So Nick usually is hiding in the back if you come in here.
He's behind the scenes.
So that spun off into, you did that, and then that grew into, tell us about Rise to Thrive real fast.
Yeah. So we got everyone's attention. We got the brand out. And really what social media does is get your brand out. That's really what it does. And, like Nick was saying, that way that the salespeople, it was easier for them to close when it comes to realtor relationships, when it comes to clients, because clients and realtors knew them. They knew the company. They're like, oh, I saw your video. Oh, I remember seeing you. So it was almost like warming up leads for our company members, to go out there and get business because clients and realtors already knew them and already like, know, and trust them, right? And that's where the true authenticity is really important and really why you just need an iPhone and just get on video because you're relatable. That's ultimately what attracts business and you're going to attract your ideal client. So even if you don't know it, if you just start getting out there and creating the content, that ideal client will come to you because of who you are, your hobbies, the way you talk, even just the way you present yourself, so just putting yourself out there really makes a difference. But as far as Rise to Thrive go, that is an event production company that we created last year as well, because one of the things that inspired it on top of all the marketing was, we went to a lot of conferences and events and we were like, man, they just are not that great. There's so many days. They're very expensive. And so we created Rise to Thrive event production company to basically create a platform for people that want to be speakers, coaches and things like that, but just doesn't have the platform for it to get out there and build their influence. So now we are hired by coaches, speakers, or, business owners who want to really amplify their business and get to the point where they're public figures or speakers, and we put on events for them. And last year we did a real estate event and hosted it here in Knoxville and had a bunch of sponsors and flew in a couple of top producing agents from all over the country that were big numbers too. And they come and spoke and, did 20 minutes on stage and we had a happy hour after, but we had 120 agents come to our event and I would say it was pretty successful. So we also did that as well. But the marketing for an event is a full-time job. So lots of social media marketing for that. And that was the first event we ever did. And the first real estate event that we've ever done, brand new company with social media marketing behind it. We had 120 agents show up. First event ever. So
quick shout out to my boy Tucker Reinhardt. Tucker Reinhardt came over here from Asheville.
That's right.
Right?
Yeah.
You said you were looking for speakers, and I said I know somebody, got him connected to come over here and speak. Right? One of the ways I network is being intentional about finding other audiences and putting my people on in front of those. Right? It's another way you can add value. It doesn't cost anything, right? And it's mutually beneficial. So we could talk to Megan literally for an hour. No, because we've done,
I could
full
literally
full
talk
social
hours
media
about
classes. So if you're not following her, follow there, tap in because there's plenty of content you can follow. Megan is who you're going to do that brand consultation with. So we're going to pick a winner here after we get done talking to Hayden really quickly about that niche. And just wanted to highlight, here's somebody where started off with one niche. Hey, if I'm going to come on the team, I'm not going to learn about mortgage. That's your thing, right? I'm your partner. I'm going to focus on what I am great at, which is marketing, presentation,
Yes.
right? Megan was a professional dancer before, so she's used to smiling through pain, right? And presenting, disciplined, driven. I'm going to lean on those skills. I'm going to get out and meet people, build organic relationships, and then
And I do help people get on video because I was a performer, but I also coached competitive dancers for years. So the coaching and performer kind of comes into play when it comes to getting my clients on video. And I help you get comfortable and build that confidence and just where you can do it on your own. So I actually do like video training days and things like that with a lot of business owners, and just to get you going, give you a good foundation to get going when it comes to social media marketing. That's my job. So Justin said, please reach out to me. I love to talk about this stuff, and I would love to schedule a little consultation, pick my brain
yes,
if you'd like.
if you want to get on the video, you don't know how to do it. This entire event is about making it very easy. So Megan we've got a studio set up right there in the back. If you want to jump on, very simple, talk about why you're here at Grid, share any any takeaway. We're going to professionally produce that. We'll tag you in it. We're going to give you we're going to give you professionally produced content that then you can provide to your audience that you can attach that I buy houses message to, right? So get with Megan right afterwards.
Yes. And the following Grid meetings monthly, that's ultimately my goal for helping with marketing is if any of you want to, even come early, we can shoot one video to just get you started. And that's something that you can put out there. Like he said, we have a studio right here on the left. We also have one in the back. We have a podcast room. And this is actually free for our community. So there's no charge. If you don't even have somewhere to go, or you need somewhere to go, or you need equipment, we're fully loaded with everything you need here, and you have access to it. So feel free. Our home is your home here at Foundation Mortgage, and we're all just about helping our community here in Knoxville.
Love it. Thank you, Megan.
Thank you.
If anyone's got questions for Megan, again, drop them in that Instagram post, drop them in comments. Cory's going through, monitoring those. We're gonna cut a questions podcast. We're gonna go deep and answer all of those for everybody. Working with Dalton, we've got our professional videographer back here. Hayden, you want to come up here, bud? Yeah. Awesome. Can I get a big hand for Hayden Fike?
Thank you.
So we're gonna wrap this up with Hayden. I'm gonna tell the story how I met you, Hayden.
All right.
Was it at Knoxville's Best? Is that where you met?
It was at Knoxville's Best.
Yes.
Yeah.
So there's a couple other investor meetups that I go to. Here's the other investor meetups in town. I was at Sono last night. We've got Knoxville's Best on the second Tuesday. So Sono's the first Tuesday. We're the first Wednesday. And then when's the Southeast Best?
Southeast Best is February 15th.
That's a Thursday?
It is a Thursday. Typically, it's the first Thursday of the month. I was in Cabo, Mexico the first Thursday of this month, so it was the third this time. But yeah, it's on the 15th.
Yeah, so I met Hayden. Hayden is the only person I've ever met, right? Because I'm at least attached to a realtor who was like, I'm a professional networker. Like all I do is I'm just networking. And so we started talking, and we sat there and we talked for a couple hours that night. Like we shut the bar down at the hotel, I think.
Yeah,
before you had to drive home to Chattanooga.
Yeah, it was midnight that night that I left and had to
Yes.
drive home. It was 2 a.m. by the time I rolled in my bed, but I was
Yeah.
like, man, I met some cool people.
And so in that time since, what I've seen Hayden do is he launched a podcast, right? So he had a vehicle for introducing. We're going to talk about what that did for him in terms of zoning. And he's just launched Southeast Best Real Estate Investor Meetup. Did you have 120 last month?
We had 150.
Sorry, 150. That was your
3 months.
Third month in.
Yeah.
Third month in, 150.
And several people are in the room tonight, some of the people that were there. I named it Southeast Best because that's truly what I want it to be. I want people to come from Knoxville, Nashville, and Atlanta. And we've been really successful in that of having people from all different areas come.
Why did you decide to focus on networking?
Okay, so I was a junior in college, and I'm not going to go too long into this, but when I was a junior in college, I went to my first ever networking event, and I've always been an oddball ever since I was a kid. I've always loved to talk to adults. The other kids would be playing with their Xbox and their Legos and everything, and I wanted to go and talk to the adults and figure out what they do for a living. I've always been fascinated with it, and I went to a networking event, and I was like, holy crap, I've hit the mother lode. Like, I'm in here, and all these people own businesses, all these people do cool things, and I went to college for business, and I learned almost nothing about how to run my own business. And then I went to one networking event, and I was like, whoa, I just met 5 people that have done what I want to do one day. And then decided I wanted to get into real estate, and I didn't know anything about real estate. I just knew that you could buy a house, and that's it. And so I started going to real estate meetups specifically, and then started getting plugged into this community.
When was that? When did you start going to real estate meetups?
It would have been senior year of college, so that would have been in, I guess, 2 years ago. I started going to real estate meetups.
Summer, spring, fall?
I don't know.
If it was senior,
exactly.
would have been spring, right? If it was
Yeah,
senior year.
probably like spring of like 2022, I would
Okay.
say. Like early 2022 is when I started.
Yeah. How many networking events do you think you've attended?
At least 80. At least, probably more.
So there's our zeroing in
Yeah.
on a niche, right? I'm going to go in here. I'm going to zero in. How did you decide? How did you do it intentionally?
So at first, it started, I got fired from my Fortune 150 job. They let me go. I thought that I was going to be making $65K a year right out of college. I had the job offer accepted. I was one out of 10 in the whole company of 10,500 people that got chosen for this. And then I got fired because I'm an idiot. And so I was like, I'm fired. So now I could go and get another job. And I was like, I don't ever want to get fired again. So I started networking. And I basically said, like, all right, well, this is it. I want to get into real estate. So I just started telling everyone at these kind of general networking events, I want to do real estate.
I've got some bad news.
What's that?
I have fired myself at least once, perhaps twice. Probably twice, Cory, right? Yeah, we were on a team. I fired myself from a position. Yeah. So it's possible.
Yeah.
You can still get fired.
I could fire myself, but at least I'm in control of that.
100%.
No one's ever going to be like, Hayden, you're fired.
Yeah, I love it. So what made you decide to launch your own meetup?
So I kind of similar to Cory's story. I asked him before I got up here. I just saw a hole in the market. I mean, this is like the key to business in general is like if you see a gaping hole in the market and no one's doing what you know is in demand, then you should do it. I looked at Chattanooga and our meetup landscape. We didn't have any education. We didn't have a single meetup with education, and we're only like 10,000 people less than Knoxville. So I come to these Knoxville events, I see how many people are engaged in such the amazing, diverse community that you guys have here. And I was like, why the hell don't we have that in Chattanooga? And so I just made it.
Yeah, you're driving up here multiple times a month, right?
Yeah. I come up to Knoxville at least once a month. I go to Nashville once a month. I go to Atlanta once a month for these. I just crave the great connections, and it wasn't existing in my hometown.
Walk me through. So you're doing this in senior year of college, right? You've got a vast experience difference than everyone you're talking to. No real world experience. You're not investing, right? You don't have your own capital
No,
when you're first starting, right?
No, I still don't.
So what could you tell someone that's sitting in this room, like, that wants to get started? Like, how'd you get started? Like, walk me through, like, what'd you do? How do you approach networking? Because it's like, why do I want to talk to this college kid?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if you are in that position, or if you're just getting started, I want to tell each and every single one of you, people want to talk to you. Like, as someone who, I'm not going to call myself experienced, I've just done a few deals. I've just been doing this for like a year and a half, but like, everyone that I have met has been so interested to talk to me because I don't just ask questions and leech. I ask questions, I get advice, and then I take action. So I think you kind of need to prove yourself in these rooms. And people, if you start showing up 1, 2, 3 months in, you're going to know 4 or 5 people. It just happens. And then those 4 or 5 people introduce you to 4 or 5 other people. But you have to take action.
And then how did you develop do you follow up with people that you meet? How do you do that?
Yeah, so I just did a Popl earlier. I use an app called Popl, Popl. It's a digital business card service, and it's attached to the back of my phone, which is sitting down over there. I can just tap it to the back of someone's phone, or they can take a picture of the little card I have in my wallet. It puts my contact into their phone with a cool picture of me and my logo and everything and what I do and a little description. And then you have to follow through with that. Don't just have them put your contact in their phone, because they will never call you. They never will. No one ever follows up. It's just a general rule. Have them put their info in, and the app will send you a notification the next day to follow up with that person.
You know the number one cost of any sales business?
The cost?
Number one cost of any sales business. Anybody know this? Unconverted leads is the number one cost of every single sales business in this country, is unconverted leads. People don't follow up. And if you look at the data, go Google Harvard Business Review, like average, they go deep on this, on leads, on how many calls it takes to connect with people. Like people just simply don't follow up, right? We're all busy.
I'm guilty. There's people I don't follow up with, and there's some people I don't follow up with on purpose.
So Hayden's gonna snick around. If you get one card here, I would get Hayden's card here, because Hayden has a massive network. This is the easy button, right? Hayden, do you love connecting people like I do?
It's literally the only thing that I genuinely get enjoyment out of. One of the few things in this life. I love connecting people.
So I'm gonna volunteer. We're gonna do a challenge. If anybody can stump Hayden, I'll buy them dinner this month. So I want you all to try. You can tell me that Hayden couldn't do it. Like, come to him with a need. Someone came to me. Actually, Tori, did you? No, it was someone else that asked me to get Karina Loken here. Karina Loken's team sells 2,400 homes. We threw a real estate conference here. She's one of the top agents in the country. That was the challenge someone gave me if I could get her here. I was like, no problem. And I went out and I got her to come to our market, right? It's fun when you're a networker, because then you have an excuse to go into a relationship with somebody that you don't know.
Well, it's creating value for both people. I was sitting at my friend's mansion the other day, and he's like, Hayden, I've got $30 million that I need to lend out. Okay, well, I can help you solve that problem. What are your terms? It's doing hard money, 3 points over SOFR, which is like 8.5% on hard money. And I'm like, all right, and I'm going to close on a loan with him tomorrow. So, and I can help other people with that kind of thing. So there's like those opportunities that just pop up when you happen to just be in the right room.
Everybody call Hayden tomorrow. Hayden, we're going to be over in the corner. We got some deals to run past you at 8.5%. Awesome. So you've all sat here very patiently. Cory, do we have some questions there? Anybody tapped in?
Yeah, Tori put a good question out. Just what's the best advice you have for small business to connect to people in their local community?
So Tori asked, what's the best advice you have for a small business like Knox Support Sphere, follow them on Instagram, to connect with their local community?
My advice for connecting to your local community would be to get in the room. Figure out where your Chamber of Commerce is. The Chamber of Commerce is an incredible resource for small businesses. I go to a lot of our Chamber of Commerce events in Chattanooga, and your best megaphone is going to be other small business owners. Because at the end of the day, you're all trying to do the same thing, is to grow something from small to medium or large. So go and connect with those other people. If you come to my meetup in next week, there's a wonderful woman there, Megan McLean. She owns a Chattanooga Cookie. She brings cookies to my meetup every month, and that's the best marketing play. Is to just bring something to give away, and it starts a conversation real fast.
I love it. Anybody got a question for Hayden before we let him off the stage? Joey.
Have you ever read the book Never Eat Alone by Keith Ferrazzi?
Joey's question is, have you ever read the book Never Eat Alone by Keith Ferrazzi?
I have not read that book, but I am currently reading a book called Blue Fishing. It's by Steve Sims, and he specializes in getting anything in the world done. Like, you want to go on the moon, he'll get you on the moon. So I am trying to get into those books, have a lot of books to read.
Joey, why did you ask that question?
He's just like an absolutely absurd networker, and it's a phenomenal book. If you're someone who's interested in networking, I highly recommend it.
Thank you, Joey, for teaming me up. He says it's just a phenomenal book. Highly recommends it. It's a great philosophy that we talk about. If anybody wants to come to a grid lunch next week, Lydia, you've been to a grid lunch. What'd you think? Was it worth your time? Oh yeah. Yeah. Come to a grid lunch. I will curate these around these. Lydia wanted to get into commercial real estate, so I found a great commercial agent, invited some other agents in here, right? We all got together, had a mastermind. I'm doing one next week. My friends, Brandon and Derek, you want to come join us? So we want to meet some contractors? Want to have lunch next week? If you want to meet some contractors, which who doesn't want to meet contractors, hit me up after the meeting. I'll throw a post in the Facebook group and we'll go to lunch next week.
Can I ask one question to these guys real fast?
Yeah.
All right. So who has a problem right now that you feel like you can't solve? Does anyone have a problem that they're like, I just don't know what to do? Does anyone want to raise their hand and tell me their problem? I'm going to connect you to the person that you need to solve this problem. So what's your problem right now? Navigating buying land, raw land. Okay, I have the perfect person for you. Come see me after, and I'll hook you up to a land flipper who does like 10 deals a week.
There we go. Awesome.
One more.
Brandon. What's that? Funding. Brandon is looking for funding.
What for?
Funding flips.
All right, come talk to me. I got you. Don't worry about that. We got 30 million.
Last one, Cassidy.
When it comes to putting deals on the table, when it comes to putting deals on the table, I feel like that's my weakness in seeing how to massage numbers to get the same answer with multiple different offers.
So you're talking about by getting the deals on the table, negotiating with the seller, like seller finance versus cash versus
Down
bank loan.
payments and just all manipulating all the numbers to come up with the same result.
Okay,
In
well-
a different way that works for the client.
All right. So are you looking?
And I'm looking for someone to help me like navigate that process.
Okay, and you're talking about on the creative side.
Yes.
You want to learn more about creative financing,
Right.
How to present those things.
Yes, correct.
Okay. I've Zach Cliff. I'm sure most people know him in the room.
I know him.
I don't know if you know Zach. Just go and get lunch with Zach.
Okay.
And be like, hey, I'll buy you lunch. I want to learn more about creative financing. I see him all the time on the groups,
Yeah.
posting about it and everything like that. Yeah.
Or
I'm sure there's other people too, but that's who comes to my head.
there's a guy, if you want to go to this meetup, it's called Southeast Best Real Estate Meetup. On February 15th, they're going to have this guy, Jason McDaniel, there, who's an expert on creative financing.
Yeah. Well, and in April, I've got a guy who owner financed 800 homes coming. So he will be an incredible speaker to come to.
Jason, good friend of mine. Jason is owner financed 40 properties here locally. If you went to our creative financing one, find it on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
I called Jason up in Mexico to get his scripts. So
You should follow Shane So as well, and I'll get off the stage. It's Shane, ShaneSeo. That's who's going to be speaking in April. So thank you so much for having me.
Thank you,
Yeah,
man.
appreciate
Glad you're here. Give Hayden a big hand. We've got some events coming up real fast here, just so you know. Our friend Savannah Price has a tax sale event. If you want to learn, he'll put this information in that email tomorrow about tax sales. 2 different events, one during the day, one in the evening. We are...
Oh, God, that's me. Sorry.
Yeah, that's all good. It's all good. I love it.
Who is that?
And then we are going to be teaching a first-time investor house hacking. We're going to teach the house hacking portion of this with our friend Vernon Corum, a whole host of people. There's an event right there that's going to be on March 18th. March 18th. And if you want to learn how to network on a real high intentional level, we are hosting an event in March at our new office. We're going to do that with Tori. We're going to do it with our friend Matt Lawson. You may have met Matt before. He's run the door here before. He's incredible. And Savannah Price. We're all going to do that in the new space with our friend Kara. Kara, is it Kara Johnson? Yeah, so Kara runs eSpaces. So if you're looking for a place to work, we've moved there. Incredible co-working space. If you want to come by and check it out and meet us, we're going to be grabbing that grid lunch right around the corner. Happy to show it to you when you come by. So, Cory, let's give some stuff away. Let's people network. All right, man. So, who's our winner of our?
Let me pull that up here.
Of our rocket launch?
Yeah,
right.
That's right. Yeah, so we had a couple of people. Appreciate everybody for sharing, commenting, posting that out. The one person we had really that jumped out at us was one of our members, is Ricky Angel over there, man.
Ricky,
Congratulations!
come on
to you,
up here, man.
Top of your book.
I love it. Yeah, man. Ricky, tell them what your niche is.
I'm a body piercer. That's my niche. That's how I make my money. But what I'm trying to get into is fix and flips and buy and holds, obviously, for long-term wealth.
I love it. We're so glad. We appreciate you. So we did a post. If you haven't, I love it. Thank you, Kimberly. If you haven't seen it, there's some branding. Borrow the platform, modify it. Tori did a great post, with the logo, like brand Grid to yourself. Put your own picture on there. We don't need our faces on there. You don't need to create your own. Hayden built a whole empire out of other people's networks, right? A year and a half later, he started this one in Chattanooga, but he was already driving to all these events. Like, borrow someone else's platform. All right, who's our winner for today? Who's tapping in the audience? Who made a post and shared? All right.
Here, sorry.
No, it's okay. Who's here for the first time? Keep your hands up here for the first time. Who's ready to jump into prospecting? Nobody? Jose? Here you go. Yeah.
Who runs the Dark Horse Commercial Real Estate?
Ooh, that is Lindsay. Lindsay you should follow her. She's got if you want to look for a model of content, Lindsay followed me on Instagram. I keep seeing her pop up in there. And Lindsay is in the commercial real estate space. The nice thing about commercial real estate is sometimes those referral checks have 2 commas. If you are a realtor, I'm going to teach you a quick script to make a lot of money. Everyone you talk to, you should be saying, hey, do you have any commercial needs? Because I've got a great commercial agent in my network. And then you shut up and you make the introduction. That's it. Keep it very, very simple. That is a recipe to make a lot of money in a very specialized niche. Lindsay, thank you so much. We're so glad you came out today. Thank you. I love it. Corey, what are the next steps?
No, just wanted to reach out. Just again, thank everybody for coming out. Please make sure to go ahead and join the Global Grid Facebook community, as well as our local Grid Knoxville community. You can always watch the event playbacks here. I try to have them up within a week of us recording this. So by next Wednesday, we'll have the recording out. Just really appreciate everybody coming out. Please go support all of our brother and sister communities that are out there. It really is just like the power is in the network. That's why we like sharing some of our other communities. These are all great rooms to go out and networking, get plugged into. Really appreciate everybody's support.
If you've got any questions, come grab us. Hayden's going to be here. Megan is here. And please, if you've gotten some value out of this, we'd appreciate, we need just at least 5 people. Just stop, take 30 seconds, talk to Megan about what you got out of this. It's painless, but it would help us a lot in growing the group. The bigger the group is, the more value we can provide to you guys. Thank you so much for coming out.
Appreciate y'all.